Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I don't want to make a really big fuss about it or big. You see the chainsaw in the back, revving. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you probably wanted my opinion on this. If you were another average person with a life, you're probably saying, "What are you talking about, Carcino? I never heard about it." But like Richie, he's all excited about it. Let's go. I heard both sides of this story. Don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door. You know how they're gonna do. So let's just keep that in mind. While we're doing this, let's know who we're dealing with. Now, no, Joe Budden is not copying DJ Vlad. If Vlad is saying that, which I definitely didn't hear Vlad saying that, but what Vlad was saying, he was going over some of the details in it. I know why Vlad is saying what he's saying as far as wanting to work with Joe. He's more in line with working with Joe now than ever. Both sides are at fault. And this is what happens when you get a situation where both sides are at fault. I take notion into the situation, looking at it from the outside, and it takes a person on the outside looking at both sides of the situation and knowing that it's a bad situation. Come on. It's a bad situation because you look at, it's not just the one incident, okay? The Rick Ross incident happened, talking about that was strike one. I don't know if the Rick Ross incident even happened before the ransom incident. You know, so when you hear Joe tell these stories like, oh, this is what, our, there's some, character issues. Okay, if that's the truth, which I understand, there is some character issues dealing with Vlad. Like his whole interview process is really driven on negativity. He focuses mostly on the negative sides of the story. He doesn't take into consideration things that have happened that are detrimental or could be detrimental to somebody's well-being. And you wonder, like, well, everyone else is common sense to say, hey, you probably got to be a little careful, going over that subject. Vlad seems to have no remorse in what he does. So when he has no remorse in what he does, it brings a situation that he's not probably really comfortable with, and probably not comfortable in the situation of dealing with different topics. Now, everybody has bitten, in my opinion, on DJ Vlad's format. But Joe was already been on the internet long before Vlad was even rolling. So to say, I don't think, matter of fact, I didn't get that he said Joe was copying him. He was just saying we do the same things now, which is not basically true. So I agree with Joe on that. They don't do the same things. Vlad pretty much takes the low end approach, and I don't know how he gets access to this. A lot of people have told me he's the feds, but hey, to get Ayanna Jackson, and there's a lot of people that's been trying to get Ayanna for a long time for interviews, and they could not. And the way he was able to get an interview with her, an exclusive, that raised a lot of eyebrows. Come on, you can go this way. So, what's up, Mr. Bailey? Okay, now which way you gonna go? Because you keep coming to the gray. Hey. What's up, Mr. Carter? I see you. I don't know if I'll do a StreamYard tonight. I haven't decided yet. Because they normally was kicking me off. But let's get further into this thing. Now, here's the situation. That he said he had some reservations with doing business with him. He brought up a lot of different scenarios. Scenarios that would reflect that Joe brought up was very good reasons to not wanting to deal with someone like Vlad. He brought up the Rick Ross incident. He brought up incident with a slaughterhouse member, and he brought up the incident that happened with him and Ransom. But what Joe refuses to acknowledge is the fact that Ransom only went to his house because they went to Ransom's house. No one seems to remember this. That incident would have never took place had he not, Joe Budden and his crew went to Ransom's home. So Joe takes should take full responsibility for that. He never points out that fact. Why he does it? Do Joe forget? Joe went up there and did these things? And he always blames Vlad. Vlad, you did something that led to that man Ransom going to jail because of it. If Ransom went to jail because of it, it was because of you. When Ransom went to jail, you was on the internet celebrating and bragging as if you did something. But you downplayed your part. You see, that's the thing. So you can't be a hypocrite, Joe. In the same breath, I agree with you when it comes to character. But if you're truly a man of character and saying that it's the character you don't want to deal with, then why are you dealing with academics? His character is a lot worse, if not just on the same level as a Djvlad. I repeat, his character is just as worse as a Djvlad. But yet you're talking about, oh, he's my son, oh, I'll act this. And his character was like that before you start working with him. So who's being a hypocrite, Joe? Come on. Let's have the real talk, Joe. See, it takes an outsider looking into the situation to read through all the snuff. Because you know nobody on his team gonna tell you about it. They're gonna give you the fluff treatment. Oh, it's gonna get even different. Hold on. Y'all done got me going. Hey, I'm gonna order some food and just get some food.
What you ordering?
I'm gonna just get a pizza or something, and we'll watch a movie or something.
Everything broken down. Bad on the beach. Bad.
Yeah. So. Just when you thought it was safe, we are back at it. Oh, they kicked me off. I guess that's what means we're in trouble. Oh yeah, it's a major problem because let's get to the gist of it really. Let me tell you why each side is upset. Vlad's not upset. Vlad's glad it. But he's like, look, we can make a lot of money together. You know, sitting down there working with Joe, Vlad sees like, I can make some money with Joe. Joe's at a point like, I don't need Vlad. So why would I need to work with Vlad? He doesn't need it. He truly doesn't. Oh. There's my mom with the killer dog. Dressed in Chinese moo. But his excuses that he gave on the show just showed you Joe's full of it.
Stop it. You listen. You know what?
Sit.
Come on. You want to get popped?
You don't like getting in the car. That was Nyla. Now she loves. This the worst car.
I'll clean it out.
This is the worst.
Come on.
It's like a 2000 and...
Come
You
on.
still got the clothes in the car? Oh, that's it. What?
Get in the car.
Get her a poop bag, because he gonna poop.
No, he's not.
Get in the car. Get up. Up.
Come on.
There you go.
Kevin, get him. He gone back in the back. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Where you at?
He in the back. Now he coming to the front.
That thing.
He can't see.
There you go. Bye, Dashi.
You won't see him tomorrow because they doing the grass. So
Yeah.
He won't be over.
All right, I'm gonna order food when I get off this live. I'm on the live, so I gotta walk. So I got better reception.
I told you could have been done this, Kevin. All you have to do is go upstairs and grab my Bluetooth. That's all you have to do.
It's okay. I need to walk anyway. So So what do you want on the pizza? What do you want on the pizza? What do you want on the pizza? What do you want on the pizza?
Oh, get what you want. I don't really want it. I need like
Okay. This is what I gotta deal with. Indecisiveness. She'll say, I'll eat what you bring. Then I'll bring it and say, why did you order this? Welcome to my OCD mom. Now, Let's get to it. Now he bring up Rick Ross, saying that Vlad did something Ross did not approve of. Ross people beat him up. Def Jam had to pay out money. And he called that strike one, right? Let's just go by Joe's clock. Joe Clock said that was strike one. Somebody suing after antagonizing a beef. Why do you have to play 3 strikes, Joe? If somebody does something that is a very big, huge thing as far as turning to authorities and suing somebody, again, why are you there, Joe? Hey, bud. If that's the situation, I answer you with this. I return the answer like this, right? If that's the case, let's say that's the end result. That's the case. He got hands put on him. Congratulations, right? The guys put him down. Now, if that's the case, he got hands put on him, guys put him down, right? You don't like the way Vlad did it. Why are you going back working with Vlad? Why are you still in concert with him? So it must didn't bother you that much. And again, you give the same allowances to your co-hosts, academics, when he was your co-host. And he was talking about extension, right? And he was doing all of those things he was doing, character-wise. And when he did with the war in Chirac, you knew all about it, Joe. You heard about it all before you brought him on the show. But he was getting views. And because he was getting views, that led to you saying, screw that. He getting hits. He's popular. I need that energy because I could sun him. And it worked out beautiful for you. It helped boost up your podcast. It helped got you in position. You had the Migos incident. It put you in a position of where you are now. So congratulations. But do not say it's about character as the reason you don't want to deal with Vlad. Because you're still talking about dealing with someone who has a very weak character, who's suspended right now from his own job because of character. His character just didn't go when, you left. His character just got worse. No. He was definitely off the sauce. He off the sauce. His character been the same way we've known him. Arrogant, brash. Now he got some money in his pocket. Now he's talking like somebody who never had it. Thinking he can just talk to anybody now. Now that they put him in a position to where he could be sued, he could be shut down, and he could be canceled. And as you saw, he was being canceled. Joe Budden to do it one day when the ratings are low. They'll come together and do something. Joe addressed and kind of slightly talked about his paranoia about showing up to the strip club. Vlad did not lie about the situation. Joe showed up, paranoid as he always, paranoid Joe, scoped out the strip club scene and fled. Now the question needs to be asked, Joe, why do you always go to strip clubs to try to find good women? I go there for entertainment, not to find a wife. Not to make them stars and have kids with them and try to make them rich and wonder why they leave me, Joe. I don't get on bended knee for strippers, Joe. Now, you need to ask yourself, why do you keep making these decisions, Joe? Because it's obviously not very good decisions. Now, someone needs to ask Joe these questions. Huh? Rory? I know Rory feels he's black because he got a black wife now. Come on, Rory. Get deep into it now. We got a black wife now. So, yeah, you're hip. You can talk about black issues. Come on, Rory and Ma. Get into it. That money done spoiled y'all. Your backpack ciphering skateboarding crew wants to know what's going on. Give them the real. Well, Rory is the guy that keeps everybody on point when Joe gets off the rails and gets irrelevantly spitting off the cuff, which Joe spits off the cuff a lot, which I like the show. Like, believe me, my favorite show episodes are the ones that people don't even talk about. They be the ones y'all say nothing happened. Those would be like some of my favorite shows, because you're getting real information on those shows. But the ones that's like trending topic because somebody said something, oh, he gonna respond back, that's what's gonna bring the money in. They know that. They're not stupid. But at least they give you something, you know? And that's what I say. Well, if you're gonna do that, don't give me every episode of just puff. You know, I have to get something for my money. Like with my Casino for Life Patreon, I could put naked women on there all day and say, I've done my job. Everybody satisfied. Who wouldn't want to see naked women all day? Or I give you substance. It would not be me to sit there and not give you something that is worth what you're paying. That's not me. I'm going to give you more. Something's worth and more valuable than anything you've ever paid for, because it's priceless. So you're actually getting a steal, because no one else is talking about information. That's value. That's what I do, and that's what you get. That's why you see everybody on the VIP still there, because they understand it. They know. So that's why people like Joe, who have their show, they pay Joe millions and pay that crew millions, because they have people that show up because somebody's going to give them something of value. You have that little core audience that is listening for that. Well, yeah, not everybody's there, Richie. You know, because you're there. So that's why you always know a little bit more than everybody else. And they'll be wondering, how do you know everything? Just be like, I'm on the Patreon. You better catch up. Now, Vlad, his problem is his interview style. If you're going to interview people, Vlad, and I've said it before, you know, a lot of people have copied your format and ran with it. But the major problem is this. And he feels like because he's getting a lot of views, his company's doing very well, he's very successful, he's rich, he doesn't have to really care. It's his style of interview. Actually know a little something about the person you're interviewing. Don't just keep trying to go to the hot topic points. I heard in '83 you beat a guy with a belt. You want to talk about that? No, I don't. Okay, here to talk about my album. Hey, how you doing? So if you keep doing that and you keep going through the like hot topic points and you don't have any substance, this is going to continuously plague you throughout your career. I mean, every time he does it, it's like almost clickbaitish sometimes. And the way he's like doesn't listen when the people are actually giving him information that's like something that's personal or means something, kind of cuts them right off and gets. And Charlemagne does that. They have no empathy. So the interview style is terrible. And he was like, okay, you made the song Who Let the Dogs Out. He'd be like, huh? No, I didn't. Wasn't you in the band? No. Don't even know them. What the hell are you talking about, Vlad? How many times you've heard that in an interview? Vlad be completely wrong about something he's asking the person he's interviewing. I would say that about 100 times. It's almost like expected for Vlad to say something wrong. In his interview. And I'm like, man, dude, you've got to improve. Know a little something about the person you're interviewing. I mean, for him to mention that he was with a guy who killed someone with his bare hands, what did that have to do with anything that was being discussed? And nothing. But it was good theater, wasn't it? Killed a guy with bare hands. That's right, man. So make sure you like the video and definitely, hit the Cash App up. Thank you guys for hitting up the Cash Out, Ivan. I appreciate it. All the guys that's hit the Cash App up. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. You can like it and subscribe. All that's free. And you could definitely hit up the Patreon if you guys have time and you're interested. Other than that, I'm out.